Hi everyone, Sarah, the owner and creator of Multifarious Nature. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're a returning viewer, I'm so glad that you're back, and if you're new, welcome. And let's dive into the shop update. First of all, we have the Olive Lights cardigan by Locatelli, and this is using my Multifarious Nature yarn colorway in Scarlet, which is a gorgeous red. And I've got major progress, guys. I'm so excited. It's starting to look like a little jacket. It doesn't have sleeves yet, of course, but it's looking like a jacket. So that's awesome. And I have a progress keeper in here somewhere. There it is. So you can see I actually got a couple inches done. A couple inches. I worked on this a bunch. A bunch. So, because I actually got the vaccine. Our second shot was yesterday, well, Friday. So yesterday, being Saturday, I did feel a little off. I wasn't feeling, the best. So it was a good day to be knitting. So I got a lot of knitting done. So I worked on all of my projects, and this is such a beautiful pattern. It really is. It's one of those things I kind of have been giving it a little bit of grief because it's a very intricate pattern, and if you're not paying close attention, it is super easy to make a mistake, which I've done and had to go back and rip it out. But that being said, it's if you actually do pay attention, it's a really nice pattern. It's beautiful. There's a lot of wonderful stitching going on. There's texture stitches. Like I said, there's cabling. It's actually starting to get there. It's starting to look like the cardigan. And again, if you're not familiar with Hoki's Olive Lights cardigan, this is what it looks like. It's a little bit blasted out, but there we go. So you can see I've got like this upper area here going down to probably about here minus the sleeves. So there's quite a bit of distance I still have to do, but I will get there. I feel a lot better about it now. When I was first doing the top, I thought this will take forever. It definitely is a long project. It's not one you're just going to get through quickly. You have to be patient because, granted, I'm also working on 2 other projects. I usually always work on 3. So that, of course, slows me down too. But frankly, I just can't work on this all the time because I just can't. I apologize. I keep clearing my throat and my nose is sniffly. Apparently, as I grew up, as I hit like an adulthood, when I came to Michigan, I developed allergies, I think, and this is definitely allergy season, like hay fever season. There's a lot of pollen in the air. Like if you go outside and you just look at the vehicles, they're just covered in like a layer of pollen. So I have my water here, but apparently I'm still struggling. So bear with me, people. Bear with me. But yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting through it, and I really like it. It's so beautiful. You can see where it's like, I definitely think there were areas where I've had minor oopsies. Like, for example, there's areas here where it looks a little bit bigger. So I think I might have screwed up the pattern slightly in that one spot. It looks kind of cool though. Like, I don't know. I feel like because of the texturing and all of the detailing on this, the things that are like little mistakes really don't look like a mistake. I don't know. I think it looks like it's supposed to be there. And then I love this cabling here. It's like an Aran cabling, and then you've got this, which is very indicative of like a lot of, I think, Celtic type patterns. Really cool, really pretty. And then this lace work is gorgeous. It has little baubles, which I didn't think I'd really like baubles, but I actually think it looks really, really fun on there. So really beautiful. And this, again, it doesn't even have the sleeves on here yet. There's gonna be pockets on the front too, so I'm really excited. I'm really excited about this pattern. So that again is my Scarlet colorway. If you were curious about what that looks like knit up, that is that. Love it. I love that color. Okay. So the Creo Cal, and I still forgot again to write down the designer's name. I always include it in the notes, guys. I'll always include it in the notes, but apparently this poor designer, it is a free pattern, so I really should include their name. It's the Creo Cal. I always think I'm saying it wrong, but. And this has another one of Multifarious Nature colorways. This is White Pine. It's a gorgeous green, a teal green, just beautiful. I love it. And I am using that with just some thrift store find and from a chick that knits, Black Onyx. And here is, so I'm alternating one row of the thrift store yarn and then one row of my Multifarious Nature yarn, and just got a little like string stuck on the front. And then I've got the Black Onyx that goes in between. So I'm doing brioche. It's just your basic brioche but I'm alternating each row, so it goes one and then the other. It's really neat because that thrift store yarn is a variegated yarn, so it's multiple colors of blue and gray, and it's just creating this awesome look because that green, my White Pine, it just looks like this is all one color or like all one yarn that's together. So it's really cool, and I love that. Like, you can mix different colored yarn together and create a whole new color. So much fun. You're painting with yarn. I absolutely love it. As I've said in previous videos, I went to college for painting, so I was a fine arts major and painting with an emphasis in painting. So for me, this is like painting with yarn. I just absolutely love it. So, loving this. So gorgeous. And squishy, and it's going to stretch beautifully because brioche is amazing and stretchy. And, I love it. I cannot wait because once I finish that, that will be done too. And it's big enough that it can be looped around and worn double. So, as I've shown in previous videos, this is, let's see, Creo Cal? But this is what it looks like, doubled up. Gorgeous. And that's a pattern I found on Ravelry, the free pattern. So, loving that. So much fun. It's just a basic brioche. Like I said, there's not any major increases or decreases. So it's just a great way to get your feet wet in brioche if you haven't done it yet. I do highly recommend this pattern. I think I said in a previous video though, if you aren't familiar with brioche, you should watch a few videos before you do the pattern because the person who designed it, I think, based on the way it was written, is definitely for people that have a familiarity with brioche, especially like the terms that are like the written terms, or the lingo, BRK and BRP. If you don't know what I just said, please look up brioche on the internet, just Google it, and there's so much information out there, and then you'll know what that means, because you do need to know what that means. Okay, to read a pattern for brioche. So I forgot to even show my progress. I had, again, major progress. Look at that. Inches. Inches. Not just 1 inch. Inches. I'm so excited about that. I worked on this a lot on my lunch breaks because I'd finished my sweater I had been working on prior. So this is what I've been working on mainly. And then when I'm at home, I'm working on my All Delights cardigan. And then this weekend, I just started, I want to say on Friday. Yeah, Friday. I started my third project. Because remember I said I work on 3 projects at a time. So I was only working on the 2 for the week, basically all week. But then I picked up my other project because I wanted to start working on it. It's getting warmer. It's again like 70 degrees today. And it's amazing. It's sunny out. So of course I had to cast on the Tulip Tank top by Pearl Soho. So here is a picture. It should have a finished photo somewhere, but well, this is kind of a cool one. It gives you an idea. But it's a nice high front to it. It's very nice and modest, but then it has like slight rise in the back. Beautiful tank top. Beautiful tank top. So again, that's by Pearl Soho, and I am using a cotton bamboo yarn by Caboo. It's called Caboo by Lion Brand. Good Lord. And it's in the silver colorway, which is going to be so blasted out because it just is such a light color. So I did decide, again, just to use that yarn, not holding it with another yarn, so not marling it. So this is where I am at so far. It's working in the round, and I'm currently doing short row shaping. I'm not quite sure how this is going to come to be based on the design and everything. I'm not quite sure how it's going to work out, but you can see the beautiful pattern that's starting to form. The short rows. Gosh, this is just getting so blasted out. Oh my word. Oh goodness. But so I always forget because I don't work with cotton that often. I've been working, well, I had been working when I first started knitting a lot with acrylic. That's like very common. Acrylic is huge for knitting because it's very reasonably priced and durable. All right. Well, and I had done my first knit top actually was a cotton top. It was I think the Melly Tea. I think it's the Melly Tea by Expression Fiber Arts, or it's on Expression Fiber Arts. I can't remember the designer's name, but the thing is like I do remember it being a little bit rough to deal with the cotton, but I guess I didn't, at the time I didn't know any better because all I had to compare it to was acrylic. But now I've been working with animal fiber a lot. So merino, well, nylon's not, but merino, Peruvian Highland wool. I'm trying to think of the other one that I just recently had used. Good grief. The, oh gosh, Icelandic wool, there we go. But so I'm sure many of you have, but if you haven't worked with animal fiber, it stretches as you knit. Like it stretches and bounces back, which is what gives you those beautiful puffy stitches, and it looks amazing. And it makes the experience so pleasant on your hands. Well, cotton has a tendency to be brutal, and I forgot how brutal it was, especially if you're trying to do a tight gauge. So this is a tight gauge. I am working really hard to keep it tight because this is going to be a tank top, so I don't want it to be like airy and see-through, so I'm trying to make it fitted so that it's to gauge. And the gauge, when I did the swatching, is tight. Like I had to knit it tight. So that's what I'm doing. But cotton, unlike animal fiber, doesn't really stretch when you're working on it. So when you're trying to keep that tension with your hands, it's really hard on your hands. I worked on this a lot yesterday and Friday, and my hand just like, I had to put this down so that I could work on my All the Lights cardigan, because my hands were hurting from doing this. Like it was just too much apparently for my hands. So I don't know if this one might end up being kind of one of those projects that takes me a long time, even though looking at the pattern doesn't look like it's that brutal. It's stockinette stitch. It's not, you're not doing any cabling. There's nothing crazy from the looks of it, so it really shouldn't take me terribly long other than the process. But I don't know, like the the torture and like what goes on with your hands, I feel like this might take me longer just because of that alone, like needing to give my hands a break from it. I definitely don't want to, do do myself with an injury here, because I couldn't couldn't stop and had to finish, and never ever. I enjoy knitting so much that even though it's obsessing, like, or I'm obsessed with it, like I will knit constantly. I know better. Like if it starts to hurt, I know to stretch, stretch your fingers, stretch, and and just stop and do something else. And even working on those little bags and sewing, it's doing something different with your hands. So you're using different muscles. It just gives your body a break. Plus, you'll get up and move. And sometimes just sitting in the same position all the time is really hard on your body. And you'll start to feel that. So if you're not someone who knits a lot, you just do it very sporadically, then you might think I'm nuts. But if you do start getting into the rhythm of knitting like a lot, and you cram it in like whenever you possibly can, like myself, and you'll probably find that, your hands and your body will start to feel that, and you need to move, you need to do things. So, yeah, I think that's a really long-winded way of me saying that cotton yarn is not at the top of my list of favorites. I want to say I'm really torn. I like Icelandic wool a lot. I think Peruvian Highland wool is actually like really building its way up there. And not to say that I'm a little partial, because I sell Peruvian Highland wool that's dyed, but it's kind of the perfect blend, because the Icelandic wool I think can be a little bit more on that rough side. It's not rough, but I feel like if you are more sensitive to certain like wools, prickly wools and stuff, I feel like at least that one would probably be the one that might, if you're going to be sensitive, might be the one to make you feel a little bit more prickly and tickly, versus the Peruvian Highland wool has more merino in it. It's a merino blend, so it's that, let's see here, it's Corriedale and merino blend. So it's really soft, like it's really soft. And I think that Corriedale gives it that even more like durable, I don't know, it's the most wonderful wool. And since using it for my All the Lights cardigan, I can really get to feel it and play with it. And I mean, this is what it looks like, guys. So this is what it is. And when you knit, it kind of pulls and stretches, and then it bounces back. And it is perfect for cabling. You can use it for anything, but I mean, look at this texture stitch. It just makes it pop. Oh, I love it. And it's so pleasant to work with. Like that All the Lights cardigan is quite tedious, and sometimes I'm just like, like I don't know if I have the brain power to focus on it, but then I just want to knit with that yarn. I really like knitting with it. It feels good on my hands. I don't find my hands getting cramps at all working with that, well, especially with this. I don't really get cramps from working with any merino or animal fiber, really. I don't think I've ever had that issue, because it's just so flexible when you're working with it, where cotton, I feel like that's my one downside to it. Like I know cotton's durable, and obviously very nice and cool, so it's great for summer garments, which that's what I'm going to be making, a tank top. So of course it lends itself to that, which is awesome, and that's why I'm using it. But the process of working with it is semi-torturous. I don't know. Do you guys, do you experience that too? Is it just me, or do you love cotton wool? Cotton wool. Cotton yarn. Do you love cotton yarn? Because if you do, please comment below. Let me know. And let me know your favorite cotton yarn, you know, if you do love it. And if you have any tips for like making the experience a little bit more enjoyable, because I don't know, I really want to get through this tank top. I want to complete it. I have the yarn. I want to use it. But the process is, it's a little rough on my hands, and then in turn on my body. So I don't enjoy that part of it at all. So, and the whole reason I knit is because I love it. It brings me joy, it brings me peace, and it's a lot of fun. And so if it starts to become too much of a pain, then I won't want to work on that project. So please keep me from ripping this back. Like, please help me. Because I have a feeling this project might end up being a little bit brutal on my hands, on my body. And I don't want that, because there's enough stuff that we do, you know, with work and everything that is just rough on us. So I try to be kind to myself when I'm on my free time and having fun. So what are you guys up to? What's going on in your end of the world? Here in Michigan, it is gorgeous. Like I said, it's 70 degrees, it's sunny out. And a short sleeve shirt again. And yeah, went to the food store. Things are starting to change here, and I'm sure they are all over the world, which is really nice. That you know, restrictions are lifting, and that's awesome. And just so that way, you know, those who have been forced to do certain things are no longer forced, and they can then choose to do things more freely without feeling like there's a fear placed upon them. So that is awesome, and I'm hoping that you guys are feeling that by you. I definitely am feeling that here. And I think it helps too that the weather's getting better. You know, you can do things outside. Like I said, I planted some flowers. So I have some beautiful flowers outside, and we're kind of trying to stay on top of watering them and not killing them. One of them, I have English, I think they're English roses is what they're called. They're the cutest little flowers, and I have them in individual pots outside, and one of them started to look really creepy the other day, and I thought, oh my gosh, did I kill it? Did I kill it? And I watered it, and sure enough, it perked right back up. I'm so glad, because that would have been really unfortunate since I'd only had it for a week. Like, I killed it after a week. Unbelievable. But yeah, so I have those. Just a variety of perennials. I'm trying to do some perennials, so hopefully they'll come back next year. And then I can always add different flowers next year, things of that nature. It's fun to see some of the flowers coming back this year that were planted last year that survived and came back. So that's awesome, and always nice to see. We have some like wild grass too, and that is coming back, and that's really pretty. Like the dune grass, like the tall grass. It's very indicative here in Michigan. And loves sandy soil. And what else is going on? Well, I will have another video for you guys coming up this week, which is really exciting. It has to do with the Advent calendars. So there are still Advent calendars in the shop if you'd like to purchase one. And again, that is 24 mini skeins and 100 gram full-size skein, and then there'll be some goodies kind of throughout the calendar on certain days. So fun little extra surprises in there with the yarn that's going to be dyed up, and they'll be individually wrapped, and then they'll all come to you in a like a a cotton drawstring bag that you can use as a project bag for projects in the future, if not your Advent project. So there's that. And yeah, I'm trying to think of what else. I don't know. I think that's about it for me this week. So slightly shorter video this week. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. I hope you're staying happy, healthy, and I hope you're creating. Please share below what you're working on. I'd love to hear about it. And I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye.